Ladies and fucking gentlemen, I just wanted to tell you guys, I just got out of a fucking incredible meeting. These boys are fucking cooking. I mean, first of all, I don't even know where the fuck to begin. We talk about bundlers. There's a lot of things we talk about, but these guys. First of all, they're called Coinwave. They're doing some I can't even fucking talk right now. They're doing astronomical things behind the scenes, allowing you to do some things in the bundle world that has never been seen before this day and age. Um, hey, listen, don't shoot the messenger, but the bundler guys are cooking, and don't get it twisted because when you thought at the end of the day that everything could be done, and as everything is said and done, you get surprised by a talented motherfucker that essentially just blows you out of the water, no homo. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today is Coinwave, the bundler. I really ask really detailed questions, just so that way people kind of have a further understanding of what they're dealing with. I'm gonna drop the link in the description, and as far as how they can get their hands on this, also jump into my Discord. I'll happily get you into my tickets, so that way you could even be personally greeted by the CEO himself. So that way you can have a little bit more third-party clarification than just jumping into some ecosystem and understanding what's going on. But I'm gonna be showing you guys cookups with this thing. I want to go over a full fucking breakdown on how this thing is came in this my hand. So, without any further ado, guys, I'm not financial advice. It's not financial advice. I welcome you guys, Coinwave Bowler, to the fucking game. Let's go.
Here we think that it is honestly gonna
Yeah.
destroy the competition, and it's something that it's special. We've been working on this for a few months now. We haven't released yet, but we're going to release this week. And
Okay.
some of the things that we've added is just it's game changing.
Man, like I'm excited because I know that this PvP thing is strong, and Bubble Maps
Yeah.
just updated the last couple of days. I'm not sure you saw that the version 2. You guys aware of that?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
So like I'm like wondering what you guys are gonna do because everyone's coming to the charts. Neil Bullock's is coming out strong with their guns. You know how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All
So
right.
in
What you
coins,
So
we've
got?
added the P&L and then owned and then market cap. Oh, these are live actually. So as the market cap updates, it'll update here.
Oh wow!
And then we've actually adjusted this page as well.
And is
All of
that
this is
live
functional.
P now instantaneous?
Yeah. So once you make
Wow!
the trade and it registers, it'll update here and in your coins tab and in your home if you're looking at that.
Oh my gosh, this looks so nice. I'm not gonna lie, like
Thank you.
I've seen some bundlers. This is the first one that's so interactable. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And I haven't even shown you like the new more info page. So you can set your developer wallet, and then if you have snipers that you want to use an instant, we have new modes, so I'm going to show you that too.
Oh my
So you can set
goodness!
snipers, and then these will be included in the. There'll
And
be snipers in the bundle that has the same creation of a token.
okay, now if I'm not mistaken, is this have also a limiter setup as well?
Hey, what?
Like a selling limiter, so user can essentially set a mark cap to what their
yeah.
bundles
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
Yep. So you can set if your wallet owns the coin,
Wow.
you're able to select that, and then set the market cap, place the order, and then it's done through a WebSocket, so it's done
Oh
pretty
wow.
quick.
Does that happen before the bundle or after the bundle? Can you like set it up before?
No, you're not able to. But once you make the bundle, you can quickly come here and then
Gotcha.
add your wallet and
Okay.
set the market cap.
Very
Yeah, we
cool.
can definitely add support for that as well, though. If that is
Yeah,
needed. People want
we're gonna do a
that sort of.
coin creation page
Wow.
Yeah.
Now
instead of
let
this
me ask you a
model.
question because I know that there's talks with other people adding this. I'm not sure you guys did or not, but when it comes to specifically adding the wallets, and then when it comes to adding your your own liquidity to each of the wallets, especially with the bubble map situation, are you guys going to
hmm
integrate, or do you have any type of API integration when it comes to just one wallet, like kind of like how Telegram bots do, where you basically send money to one wallet and then basically does the work for you to distribute to the others? Do you have that anything internal like that?
Yeah, we have distribute, and then you can do an advanced if you have. We're also gonna add a little generate, so you can add a minimum field and a maximum, and then automatically generate these values.
Okay,
And then
and then
if you have a developer wallet,
uh-huh.
oh, you come back here to advanced, I'll label it as the developer.
Nice. And the wallets here, are they aged within the actual app to be like Trojan bullets, or is that something that has to be done prior
Yes.
to?
Yep. So if you come here, trading bot source, you're able to set it to static, or you can use random and these cache as well. So if it's the wallet buys with Bolex, it's gonna stay as Bolex.
Wow, very, very awesome. Now, does this also have a RPC node like speed tester, or do you or something that you would do separate? Oh, wow. Oh, hey,
Yes.
I swear that
So
like this is not like serendipity. It feels like it's like we didn't practice this shit. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you've been
Yeah.
cooking,
Oh, the
man.
test. Yeah, man.
thank you. Yeah, this is if if I were to show you the actual speeds, it wouldn't match this. It's actually quicker.
Okay.
Because we use Tari and in the back end, it's
What now? What would
much
you say
faster
for
with Quick.
you? What would be the fastest node that you used with this before? No
We
discrimination,
used
you know.
yeah. We used one that was like 40 ms, and then but I think it was fit faster than that. But like our speed test, it does a bit more checks than like doing a speed test in like command prompt or something that like
Okay.
that, because it has to do like some like small like authentication checks or whatever like that.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what it has to go through. So it kind of like adds on. The speed test is like, it's a little bit more delayed than an actual speed test on a command line interface, but it's like the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Did,
Yeah.
do you remember by any chance that the node that you used that was like 40 something, 50 something?
Oh, so we did like Syndica.
Syndica.
Syndica. If you heard of that, yeah.
No, I never. They validator.
Yeah, I can send you
Yeah,
it.
they
Yeah.
provide an
I just
answer.
picked up Urban Node. You heard of them?
Oh, Urban Node. Yeah, I heard of
Urban.
them. Yeah. We also have some people that also supply really good speeds as well. We're kind of like in talks with them as well. We might as well have a solution where the buyer can purchase our tool, and then they would also get access to RPC and then a node as
Oh
well.
wow. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of that, like I would love to know. So, um,
Mhm.
and also kind of get your opinion on this too. So when it comes to specifically
Mhm.
like the sniper world and a lot of times with the bundle world, snipers essentially are going to try to, what I've seen most of the time, kind of hide a lot of their what they do behind the scenes, like even their updates. So they're kind of marginalize it by NFTs, by having like a community of like 80, 100, 200 people that are basically locked in, and then they basically can sell on Magic Eden. Whereas the bundler community is like, hey, there's a lifetime audience, there's lifetime warranties here, you know, we'll get you in. There could be as many people as possible. Like, do you see an advantage or disadvantage of going the route of like the demand for the community coming in compared to just like selling it off? Anybody can get it. You know, it's just there's a lifetime situation compared to the exclusivity of having a NFT based community. It's just for you from a CEO perspective.
Oh, wait, can you like repeat some of that? Because
Yeah,
like
I know it
my
was a
like
tongue twister.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're good.
But basically, I was just wondering, just from a CEO standpoint, not from the logistics of the bot, but specifically when it comes to, for example, you have ecosystems such as snipers, and they are most of them working off a bot that is derivative off of utility of an NFT, right? So you have like a Magic Eden,
Yeah.
you have a NFT. Whereas the bundlers, I'm not really, to be completely frank with you, have seen really. I'm not sure if you have, but I haven't seen really bundlers presents a NFT of sorts, so that way they're locking the logistics, internal. Like it's like, okay, we'll build a market cap with our, our floor with this Eden thing, but it seems like bundlers are giving out the soft so much that we're easy to be over. We're always going back to the dev set situation, and it's like we got to constantly cook up because our information is so easily to be assessed compared to the snipers. Is this what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see what you're kind of saying. Yeah. So you're saying like basically like having like an NFT like solution where like people like kind of like Urban Node that they have,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of thought of that as well. we're still obviously working on like building it and working on like our marketing, but we're gonna start marketing and stuff. But that's definitely like an idea that we're definitely interested in trying
For
things.
sure. And what I
So
was going
yeah.
to ask too, when it comes to specifically the deployment process of the actual app, is what are the modes on it? I mean, have you guys taken completely off the safe mode? And I mean, what type of situations are we working with?
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
yeah, you can show them with those.
So you have safe mode, which is basically like on meme tools safe mode.
Yeah.
Um,
It's good to see that
they're
there
all
because I
they
know a
all
lot of
come in as
bundlers left
snipers.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So we added that. We have people like telling us like good suggestions,
And
and they've
and
been really helpful.
by the way, just out of curiosity, you may or may not know this, but if I'm not mistaken, since the V2 update with bubble maps, theoretically, isn't all deploys coming looking like safe mode now?
Um,
I haven't really
no, they're
checked
not
that.
all
Like,
snipers,
yeah.
but it's there's no really credibility difference between safe and instant unless you're like the people are looking at it shallowly,
Gotcha,
like in the actual transaction explorer. They all
gotcha.
appear as snipers, they're snipers.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Makes
Um,
sense.
instant and then delayed. So we actually there's an option where you can release it when
Right,
clicking a
nice.
button, um, as opposed to a normal delay.
Okay.
So and then ASAP mode, it's sort of so we use bundles for each transaction,
Mhm.
and we had this option. So if you have like 70 wallets, we do allow like up to like 120 wallets if you so desire.
Mm,
Um, they'll use 25 per bundle and then 5 per transaction. So 5 times 5, 25.
right.
So we can get 25 off one bundle. And then instant, same thing, except it's done instantly right after
And
creation.
let
And
me
you can
ask.
add
Oh,
sniper watts right
it
here.
says sell instantly after creation. That's a presumptible function in the contract. Is like it's allowed. You're basically telling the bot to sell the dev instantly after creation, or
Um,
is that the whole bundle? How does that work right there?
what do you mean? Where?
You said that it was. I'm sorry, it was like a little blurry. But did you say that you could you're personally manually selling instantly a creation, or do you sell the functionality up to sell the dev specifically instantly at creation, so you can
Oh,
base? Yeah.
yeah. So if you could, there's a dev wallet tab,
Uh
and
huh.
that shows that one. And then you can also come here. We have like 3 different ways. So you can click this and then sell SPL or sell a percentage. You can click it and then hit sell percentage or sell SPL, or you can click multiple and hit sell SPL. And these,
Awesome.
if you do that, it'll all appear as different certain transactions with different signatures.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, and let me ask you this too. When it comes down to it, when you do the actual deployment, are we also getting a immediate bullets or some type of graph that shows us without having to copy paste and or does it populate
Oh,
basically that?
so when you create it, you're gonna get a little notification down here, and it has a button to open it in Coinwave. And then you can come here. We have icons up here. You can open it in Photon. You can
Okay.
open it
Yeah.
up in Bolex.
Yeah, but we're also gonna add another feature, which is really easy actually. All it will be is in settings. You can just enable it, and then on creation, it'll just automatically open it in NeoBolex or Photon or whatever you like.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's pretty
Um.
easily accessible now. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. This
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, this is not Golang. This is what the language is currently.
This
TypeScript and
front end
Rust.
is, yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that now?
TypeScript and Rust.
Oh,
TypeScript and
Rust.
Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys did a
exactly.
far more remarkable job than the
Hmm.
predecessors. I'm not gonna say their names. Ends with tools,
Yeah.
but yeah. You guys did a far better job
Yeah,
executing
man.
that. So kudos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ooh, I see you have it says volume bot. Can you go into how that is operates? So I
Yes.
know sometimes people
So
don't even have that. I mean, is there something that is one thing a volume bot? This is all right. So there's two type of situations, right? I've seen the volume bots where you have set up where you let's say allocate, let's say 5 SOL. It'll essentially buy the contract, send to a dead wallet, it'll come off, yes, as insider wallets, but theoretically still creating volume, and then basically utilizing the same volume, so you don't have to distribute to 100 wallets, but still creating
Yes.
continued. Is that doing what it's doing, or is it the other way around?
Yes, that is exactly what it's doing. It has a set amount of wallets, a set amount of budget it'll distribute, and then you have a min buy delay, max buy delay, min sell
Yeah.
delay, max sell.
We plan on adding more features as well to our volume bot, but it's just like an extra feature that people are going to be able to use, you know?
So theoretically,
And
let's say
then-
if I put like 500 wallets, does that mean that is it like is it creating holders for me and holding at least a couple tokens while it sells, like, or is it not doing that as well?
So I'm gonna add an option where you can select an existing wallet and
Yeah.
then it'll use, or group rather, and then use that group for the volume bot. Because if you come down here, you can do generate human activity, and then it'll select random dead tokens, and then continuously buy and sell them.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and
also, I wanted to tell you
Yeah.
guys something. All right, go ahead.
Fair enough.
You're
Yeah.
good.
All right.
What you got? So you
All
created
right.
a token right now, and so
Yep.
we said there's
We can
safe
do
mode,
instant.
remember, and then there was two other modes, I believe you said. There's safe, on demand, right?
Instant.
Instant. So that's
Yeah.
basically Jito, or no, that's not Jito. That's RPC, right?
We don't offer an RPC option. We will in the future, though.
Oh, right now there's no RPC.
Correct.
Okay.
But we will.
Okay, so right now that's good to know. So as we speak, then wait, let me ask you then. What would be the point in case for the speed test that we were doing in the beginning?
If you're like a long distance away from your Solana node, then obviously the average time for a slot is 400, or not 400, but like 500 to 800 milliseconds. If you're
So
farther than that,
you can put your own
there's
node in there,
definitely
right? Your own custom node.
Yeah,
That's
course.
RPC.
Yeah, that's RPC, and then
You
Jito,
think a
obviously,
gRPC, I think, right?
no, I'm using a regular one right now.
Oh, okay. So how would
Yeah.
I place, like, for example, if I had like Solana Vibe Station or Pixel Labs or something like that, how would I place that information in there to basically use that particular node in settings? Oh yeah, in the no URL right there, right?
Yep. For a gRPC,
Yeah, it's right there, the no URL, and then the WebSocket URL. So WS and no, that's that right there. Yeah, perfect. I just wanted to know where the settings were. So you do use Jito, and you do use RPC. It's a node. I know the safe mode's
Yeah.
completely using Jito, but I'm trying to figure out on demand. I assume uses just RPC though, right? Or just the
Instant
node.
is trying to be one block for a lot of transactions. So yeah, it's Jito.
Okay.
But we don't offer a gRPC option right now for like Yellowstone, whatever that other one is called.
Yeah.
It's just for updating the bonding curve and stuff. It's just like a glorified WebSocket that takes in a bunch of more information.
For sure.
And we've used WebSockets and gathered one block. We don't have our VPS.
Okay.
We have okay speeds here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to create one. Go to instance. 0.02 to 0.04. Do around 11. So it's going to be 3 different bundles. Each one's going to have 5 transactions.
Okay. You're doing safe mode right now?
This is instant. I can show you safe mode.
Oh no, you're good. You do instant. Instant essentially is basically right after block 0, I assume. Right? Just literally boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Block 1 to block 2.
And you're basically using, at that point, if I'm not mistaken, completely non-Jito. You're basically using your node to get you into your position, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, this uses Jito.
This Jito as well? Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Do 15.
And are you setting in the parameters in the settings the Jito locations, or is it automatically default to a specific location?
You can set your location, but we have a bypass which uses all of them, and there's a keep alive socket open, so it's really quick, even if you're in Tokyo, if you need to have that many bundles.
Okay, so I gotcha. So theoretically,
yeah,
you're you can just basically set the settings to wherever your location is close to have the fastest possibilities. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think
All
that
right, that's
to
creative.
be honest with you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like certain bundlers have different effects. Like for example, I feel like if you're a docks person and you want to be able to grab a majority of your supply without the hoopla of having, one particular wallet so heavy, and also to feel safe, like, hey man, I don't really want to get with buy the best node. I don't want to freaking worry
Mhm.
about, slippage or freaking sandwiching situations. Let me just get in there with like, by the way, what's the maximum of wallets that we can do with this for the bundle?
120.
What? Holy shit. What the
All right,
fuck?
so these are mine. So these are mine.
You put
These
120
ones, they
wallets on a
can.
Gito. How long have you been
You
able to
can,
do
yeah.
that?
Oh no, but I think we're the first ones because like we offer the ASAP option, which bundles like it's basically safe mode, but for a bunch of wallets.
Holy fuck.
So
Wait a
75 would only be
You can
25
fucking
times
Gito with
3.
75 plus, or you said 120 wallets? I think this
Each
is
bundle you can do up to
sort of the
25.
things that, like, so this is the thing. I'm glad we having this conversation because it's like, I get it. For me, when I was still this point in developing certain things in certain ecosystems, you get so buried by
Uh-huh.
code and you kind of lose sight sometimes of just like what maybe make you the one thing, like, oh, these guys are this guy, like these are known for this type of shit, and I think we just
Yeah.
nailed it on the head. Like, I don't know anybody whatsoever that is literally, you said how many max though again?
120. These guys tested with 75 and told us they had really good results.
So 75 is what you did, then but you could also do 120 though.
Yeah.
And these are
Max is
landing, all
120.
landing, hitting, like instantly hitting, all for sure hitting, no matter what.
Yeah, look
The
at
Yes.
that. That's
fuck?
So
just
these are
20 wallets, but if yeah, they all
this is
land and then
15,
show them the
yeah.
blocks. Show them the blocks. Add and then the first spot.
And this is on instant or all of them?
This is
Instant.
on instant. Pretty much all of them though.
Holy
Mhm.
shit! You're doing 120
That
wallets
was one
without any
block.
possibility on one block too.
Yeah, one block.
So you have figured out something that a lot of bundlers have not figured out. As simple as that.
Oh yeah, I have shitty times too.
You were using the
Yeah, bro.
ChatGTP 4 $200 monthly version.
Pretty much, yeah.
Facts,
Except it
bro.
took like 2 months to do, bro.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! This is why we figured out the pyramids weren't really fucking really ours. Shit, that type of word.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro.
Okay, that's heavy. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about that. Let's let that dissect. So 120 wallets. Now, are you able to essentially also season those before they hit, like all 120 to be like, bullets this needs to, boom 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 or what?
Oh, you're basically
Um,
saying like the trading source, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, you're
yeah.
able to do it.
So here's the thing.
The
When you
fuck?
have a transaction full of like 5 instructions for buying, it there's a set transaction size, like it's like 1 kilobyte or so. Um, if you're gonna fit in one of these addresses for the trading bot source, it's gonna cost a lot of more. But we're able to fit in one more because I made our own little address lookup table for it.
Uh-huh. So
So
maybe presumptually, if you had the world. Well, let me ask you this then, because like a lot of people tend to ask me this sometimes in one-on-ones. Like,
mhm.
ideally, when you're seizing and aging these wallets, you basically set the parameters for Bubblix, Neo, whatever you need to, and then you transfer the liquid into it or do you transfer the liquid first and then season it? What's like? Is there a certain specific protocol which you prefer to do?
Um, what do you
Because I
mean?
mean, basically, once you actually hit the notification that says Bullix or Neo, whatever one you use, is it instantaneously messing with the soul scan to determine that's actually aged, or does it require liquidity in it? It does require some type of Solana to have transactions, right?
Um, to be marked as a transaction or a trading bot, or what
Yeah,
do you
just to
mean?
be marked as like for example, a Bullix wallet, right? We created a new wallet, right?
Yeah.
And of
Okay.
course we can, do we have to put liquidity in it in order for it to
You,
solidify, or does it kind of solidify without liquidity?
so you're going to be let on a little secret. This is how it gets marked as whatever wallet this was. So if I go to Bullx for this
Well, shit,
token,
it ain't gonna be a secret right now because I'm gonna fucking record.
so if I come here,
Yes, sir, bro. All right.
all right, here they are. Soul
You said
Trading, VOD, Bullx, Trojan.
Trojan, Soul Trading, blah blah blah.
Wow.
And yeah, you're able to see it's on
And
different
on top of
different.
that, they're all hitting on the same block.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah,
So
man.
theoretically speaking, obviously, the type of sorcery in the coding that you did was magnificent. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, because honestly, I think you guys should really gauge at that. I'm going to definitely highlight that. I'll even record a separate
Mhm.
separate video just so that way people can have an awareness. Because like shit, like think about it. Like, you know how many people that go into the bundle game, right? And everyone has certain type of different leverages. Like, I'm not going to say their names, but some people are on the TG bots. We already know, when you're in the TG world, they kind of got your balls by your hands. At the end of the day, it's almost a waiting situation to get rugged, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are those guys because they prefer not to go with the whole VPS setup, dedicated node, all this stuff, blah blah blah, right? But you're
Yeah.
literally kind of handing over them a lot more leverage than you want. But then in this case, right, we get to a situation where first and ever you have a situation where there's literally hundreds, sorry, of wallets coming in now. I'm curious to see. Can we see this same contract that you just did? Can we see this on Bullets to see the type of statistics that it's giving us? I'm curious to see what type of information it's pulling in. And also, can we check out? I know it's version 2, but just can we check out bubble maps as well?
Yes. So bubble map. We're gonna figure out a way.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh,
On
beautiful.
so on Bullets right now it kind of shows, but we're going to fix a way before we release on
Yeah, I don't know why
Bullets.
it says that I don't own these. Oh wait, it's volume. Someone's volume botting it. I think.
Well, I
Yeah.
would too. 100
But
fucking wallets came up. Like, check them. Let's go,
Usually
go.
they do. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm gonna be transparent. They usually do, but we're gonna figure out a bypass. We've just been
yeah.
focusing on
On
polishing a lot
Photon,
of.
on Pump Fun, they don't ever show on there, but on Bullets it's the only one that's kind of showing. And we are gonna fix it, but yeah, we're
So
looking into it.
let me ask you this, because I had a conversation with someone earlier, and maybe you can give me more of a technical answer of this. Now, obviously, your bot works heavily when it comes to Jito, but needless to say, don't get it twisted. The RPC, the WebSocket, as far as those settings actually has to be into the bot in order for it to function correctly, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, you definitely need WebSockets,
What is
and you
the
definitely need the
actual
node.
sum of that? Is that specifically for the transfer of funds that you have it in currently? Like, what is the specifics of why a user would need to have, if anything, and if not the fastest, just something that's specifically going to work?
So for your node, obviously, it's to communicate with the Solana blockchain.
Right.
Um, Usually for it's actually just if you open up Postman and hold on, let it load. It's just an API that lets you interface.
And basically, it allows you to see a lot of the data information that's being placed on that UI, so that way you can have consistent connectivity to it. Correct.
Yeah, so hold on.
So theoretically, if I'm not mistaken, and just again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I like to bark. I'm a prompter guy. There's the devs like you that are actually really cooking mentally, but I'm like prompting an AI to do shit. So I have to kind of hassle back with some questions. But correct me if I'm wrong, but by allowing the actual API with the actual node, or to consistently update the UI, if you're just setting the priorities for Jito to specifically run the transactions, as long as your computer is working efficiently, is that, if I'm not mistaken, you have two different things doing two separate things. One simply is data information to the UI. The other thing is specifically actually sending the actual transaction to the actual Solana blockchain itself, right?
Yeah, I like to keep the two things way separated from each other
I just noticed
because you
that,
don't
and
want to
that's why
be.
I wanted to highlight that. You see where I'm going with this, because a lot of people are just gonna see this for what it is, but like me being like a prompter coder, I have like respects of what you're doing, because technically speaking, there's a lot of different bundlers out there that are basically not doing that, and we run into a lot
Yeah.
of different problems too, as you can see.
So yeah, I looked
Wow.
into a lot of things on the Rust side, like the best request client. We use Hyper, by the way. We use a client made with Keep Alive for Jito.
Uh huh.
So we do a really weird request at the start of the bundle where it just starts the socket connection with the actual Jito server in all locations
Right.
because
Would
it's
you
going to save a lot
say
of you.
that perhaps this bundler here it's not just like a particular bundler that you could just essentially find like with any other thing. It does have specialized coding to essentially interact with the blockchain far different than any other bundler's doing, just so that way you have more leverage and basically profiting.
That is an interesting question. Yeah, we have a new way of visualizing things, that's for sure.
Just
Different
alongside
way
that
of doing
profit
the
thing right there
programming.
is, if I'm not mistaken, how it just rolled out like that. If that technically is using data connection points from the actual node, pulling it in right, like immediately, and then when it actually
Oh,
fires, it's just using specifically Jito.
hold
Right?
on, I'm gonna actually show you. So I once hard coded this stuff, but I found a better way. So hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
mind. No,
gonna fill in the code.
I'm all ears.
So if I close this, um, so once we actually send the
If you need anything
transaction,
off the record, just tell me off the record because I'm still recording. Just FYI.
oh, you're still recording?
Oh yeah, this
All
one
right.
should be off the record, but
Okay,
yeah.
I'm cool. So when it comes down to the actual transferring of, let's say, 120 wallets back to one, that's I assume happening through a major batch situation, or is it through multiple processors? That's 2020. I know the bundle will be over. It's already sold, and now there's just Solana in like 120
Yeah.
wallets. I assume.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to know, is that happening through a Jito send all, or how's that? Is that how's that happening basically from the send?
I don't really see a need to use Jito for that. We use the RPC and then we have a helper function that helps approximate the size of the actual transactions.
Okay,
Or not transactions, but the transfer instructions. So we just
nice.
pack as many transfer instructions into as little transactions as possible and then send those off.
Now, is that automated in a way where the user could just click once and then just kind of wait for everything to be centralized into that one wallet, or do they have to continue with like batching manually out?
No, they just click the button and then it sends all it
It
to the
sends it out.
master. And then whenever that master balance updates, this whole page updates.
Nice. That's very cool. That's very
Yep.
cool. That's very so.
Yeah.
When you kind of see, if possible, are we able to see some? We saw the bull maps, but are we able to see some of the information and neobullets of that particular coin that you just dropped? I would love to see just some of the analytics of the
Yeah.
sniper, how it looks. So if we go to the right side where it says snipers on the far right, right there, on the bottom right.
But
Yeah, there.
yeah, my water bottle on the way.
Oh, it's all good.
All
It
right.
says snipers. It just says, click on that one right there. Okay, perfect. So it's reading currently. How many wallets did we drop in this one?
We dropped about
It was 20.
20. Yeah, 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
20 wallets. And by the way, was this all any of the wallets that were dropped? It all dropped on the same block. Where it was right.
Yes, I can show you again if you want to see.
And was
You
this
come
a
here.
did you on demand this in, or did you automatically put it in like immediately? So as soon as the deploy happened.
This immediately after the coin launches, we have a received event on the socket, and then once that's triggered, we send this off.
Okay.
And
Nice,
anchor
nice.
is sometimes slow, like 50 milliseconds slow. We can't really opt
Wow,
that out when we
yeah.
have like 600 milliseconds to spare.
Wow, so would you say, if we to go back to that chart real quick, would you say, was this, wait, first of all, did any FOMO coming after those wallets?
What's
Just
that?
Oh, you talked about like, is there any other transactions after the wallets that we
Yeah,
went
I'm just curious to
Oh.
go
see,
up?
if your tests are producing any profits from this, I assume, like, I get a couple coming, like, this is phenomenal. I'm like discovering that,
Yeah.
I forgot this is
Here,
DeFi, like, it just takes
go up on the
motherfuckers.
photon. Yeah.
I'm lost. Go to the photon.
Yeah, go back to the photon. Yeah, look. Oh, there was some trades, but it went up and then it went down. I don't know what happened, but
What the
Those
heck?
three that right there are in between.
Yeah.
Those not you right there. I think that's why.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
one
think
big
this is
candle's
us.
you, and then those ones that came in. But that big
Yeah.
candle right
Yeah.
there, that's not you either, right?
Yeah, that big candle was not
No, I
us.
sold shortly.
The first candle was us.
Yeah,
First
but
candle.
the second, the third wasn't you, right?
Yeah, the
This
second and
must have
third
been
wasn't
us.
ours. No, that wasn't us. The one that
This
sold,
chart.
was ours. That one little sell, like that dip. But
Uh-huh.
the first, all of our buys was in one candle.
Wow. Yeah, one candle.
Yeah.
And that was okay. So let me ask you this. So, theoretically, and just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm really kind of getting to this at the end of the day.
You're okay.
But theoretically, if I'm not wrong, we can highlight some of the audience members out there that essentially of course, they have a VPS to work with something that's operable for them to be speed-wise and but they don't necessarily have to have the nodes of all nodes because of the fact that this is honed on Jito specifically. This works for those type of guys that like, hey, I got this, node that cost me two soul a month. I just needed to process information fast rather than actual wallet transactional data. They know for a fact by coming to this ecosystem, at least of right now, that's the name of the plan. This is how we're hybriding the situation. Is that correct?
So yeah, I'd like to exaggerate the importance of the proximity to a Jito engine data center, my bad.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you're far away from it. And like I said, it doesn't matter too much like how the other bundlers, because they don't really use a keep alive connection as we do. You get really good millisecond speeds even across the world. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still nice to be close to one if you need a quick.
Like you can see, his setup is not really, that optimized for bundling with like another bundler.
My
If
home
you were to use
computer.
this, exactly, if you were to use his same setup on another bundler, it would be slow. But on our tool, even if you have mid-range setup, you're still gonna get those fast speeds.
No fact. No, so let me ask you a question. I almost forgot to ask you this. So it is on demand, right? Are you able to on demand in? Or no?
On demand?
On demand is like to clarify, like on what
So
on demand.
yeah,
you mean?
for sure. It's essentially where you first have the buy of the dev, and then the other bundle wallets come in. Let's say a minute later. You literally click.
Oh,
a
yeah, you
button.
can do that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we have several options for that because we were forced to add it.
Well,
Okay.
And this
So,
on demand is literally
you
still
can
using Jito.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And it's
so
blocking
you
it
can set
out
a
on the same
delay.
fucking block.
You can add a sniper if
Oh
you
my
want. I don't know
fucking
why it has
gosh!
delay.
You guys
I'm
are
gonna remove that.
diabolical.
Yeah, bro.
What
Let's
the-
launch one for him. Let's do a launch real quick.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna do a launch on trigger.
Because you guys
with,
realized
40
Jito was
wallets.
just like in 24, 23, it was just a thing of first instant launches. Like anything outside of that was just all RPC.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit!
1.25.
You're gonna make the
All right, let's launch
fucking
it.
floor price of a lot of these NFTs go down.
Oh my.
Now I get it.
All
This
right.
whole conversation from the very jump when we talked about that. Now we having the actual like choreography all behind the scenes of this shit. Now it makes sense. You don't go like I would not even go the NFT route just because you literally don't need that motherfucker really at the moment.
Exactly.
The snipers
And now you can launch
need
it, so
them,
go to the
though.
full time. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, look at the bonding curve progress. We're fucked. We're
What
gonna have to
happened?
wait a second for these people to clear.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
No, he
I
hasn't
used,
launched the on demand yet.
Yeah,
But
I have,
Oh, so you came in
trigger
with their
mode
buy dev and they
activated, so
came
I
in with
gotta click
pressure.
this. No, I didn't even buy with anything because I use trigger mode. You have to click this button to launch it.
So wait, let me
yeah,
ask
you
you
have to
this.
click.
So what we're seeing right now, this is not a launch, right?
This is a launch. Once I click this button, a bunch of wallets will come. So usually, for a good launch, they usually do. You're gonna have that dev wallet come in with a lot of soul, and then you're gonna sell that later, and then you're gonna wait a second, and then you're gonna come in with all your other bundles.
So let
Maybe
me
you have
ask
a
you
few
this:
snipers.
this fast
after
food
this, then
joint,
sell.
that chart that we're seeing right behind it, is that fast food joint already like launched by the dev already?
Yeah, it's already launched. Yeah, people are
Gotcha.
buying
So
it.
when
I'm
you
just
say
waiting for them to sell it.
gotcha, so you bought in with just the dev, right? There was pressure, right?
Yeah.
And then from
Yeah.
that point on, we're essentially waiting for them so you're to essentially sandwich all shit. You know what I'm saying, basically, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Now,
so we don't get
when you
front run
came
with
in, I saw
$100.
something because I wanted to slow motion real quick. Go back if you could to the bundler. I see there was a 5.3%. Can you give me a little information on that because that was beautiful. Seeing that if that literally is telling you that that's how much pressure the dev wallet has, if they were to sell.
That's bonding curve progress.
Oh, that's the bonding curve progress. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then this is live information, like as
Oh
trades come in,
fuck!
so people
Woo!
are losing.
Who needs a fucking
Yeah.
chart? Yo,
Exactly. All right, now you can launch it.
yo, that shit was
Can I
sexy.
though? All right, yeah, we
Yeah.
can launch it now. The launch.
And boom.
Minute.
Now
Ow.
refresh.
Oh lord. Yeah,
Exactly.
And then wait, you
That's
get to go back
pretty
to the
wild.
charts and you can literally just observe the bonding curve pressure at the end of the day too. Oh, you sold them already or no? I'll go with it.
No,
Oh,
he
no, I
just
didn't
did
sell though,
the
yeah.
he just did the buy
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he
Oh, you
did
gotta
the
refresh.
trigger buy. Yeah,
Oh
you see
yeah,
all
look at
landed
this.
already.
So
Mhm.
if I come here
How many
to...
buy-ins per wallet are you doing for this test?
So this is ASAP mode. I wanted to show it off because it's pretty cool.
Okay.
It's 5 buys per transaction, and then obviously 5 transactions per bundle. So we can
5
actually, if
buys
you
per
look here, you
transaction.
can fit in that trading bot platform. We have our own address lookup table. Let's go to Bullx now. You can see these all are on Trojan,
Wow.
Bullx.
Yo, not even the
Yep.
fact that they're on these Trojans, that's one thing, but for the fact that you just did that shit on a Jito, yo, and you could do up to 120?
Yeah, that's 40.
Bro, you
Gonna
figured the
destroy
shit
the
out,
market.
bro. Hey, protect this man with all your life. Protect this
Exactly,
man.
This is secret knowledge of like 4 months of development. I mean,
4 months, yeah. That's why we've been working so hard. That's why we didn't want to release something so
You already know.
yeah, something that's shit. We want to release something that's gonna destroy the market.
You already know because
yeah,
like
I'm
you already see
broken from New Metric.
when I was came in the situation, I could see that this could be a beautiful situation. So I had to let you know from behind the scenes what we had to know to get to where we are right now. And I'm so glad that happened because sometimes you got to get rid of some of the bad apples to be able to prosper. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it too.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, this is
It's been
beautiful.
a
Oh my
rocky
god.
project.
I'm speechless, man. And like you still got the a volume bot and the comment bot. By the way, comment bot. Are we doing essentially proxies? Is this a thing?
This is so we provide the captcha key. Just post these whenever you want.
Yeah. And you don't need proxies, by the way. We have a proxy bypass as well.
Oh my lord. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
See, y'all got all this fucking sauce here, and we still see.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you so locked in the code, you got so much eggs that you don't even know that they're eggs until it's like this is something that they definitely want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's slow that down real quick. So we got now a common situation that does now require proxy. So you just fucking gave all the guys that were coming into these groups saying I'm a proxy this, proxy that. They're out of business now. 2025 shit. Hello, 2026 shit. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this tab is still here if you have good proxies.
Wow. Okay, so
can
you
use them.
bypassed that, and essentially you said something about API. So what is needing to do beyond? Do you have to just set up the comments up itself, the custom comments, or what's the protocol on that? And you said proxies are still here, so we'll go over that in a second too.
Show you some code real quick. I can sell this to you. Sorry. Been a while since I modified this file.
And I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, even though this is on the record, y'all know how I am behind the scenes too. It's like, man, there's so many people that come left and right asking for bundlers. I be in these spaces and just be talking left and right, and a lot of these videos don't even get to the line because it's just like I'm like, man, you ain't really doing anything that's too crazy out the other. Like I've already showed this right here is game breaking, game fucking breaking. And like I haven't even gone into details for as the UI design of your P&L cards that look sexy as fuck. Well, I haven't even talked about that shit.
I did that I finished the coding part of that and then like
Man.
one night. It was a long night, bro.
Oh my
I can show you. Hold on.
Yo, you know how they say make America great again? You made Solana for devs great again, like for real. Like just being behind the scenes and seeing like where the market is right now and the understanding like leverages of that's going on. I'm like, oh. But then when you get to the point when you have conversations like this, and then all of a sudden you find out that something that you thought was never possible. Y'all been playing with it behind the scenes left and right like it's like a yo-yo. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Quick question, and I know this is probably or maybe not even a thing yet, or maybe you have a thing, but by any chance, is a person able to essentially do the same metrics in other people contracts rather than actually having to deploy? So like a CTO situation, right? Are you a bundle into like an already pre-existing contract with using the same GDO?
So if you come, so we're gonna add a little draft system where it creates the token CA, and then you could copy it, send it to anyone you need.
Uh-huh.
If you come here, you can actually copy the CA it provides. And if I put that into this URL, it's gonna be comp vanity. So yes, and if you have a token that you want to copy, let's find one. Go to Photon.
By the way, if I'm not
Small.
mistaken, I know you're working fast with it, but from what I just saw right there, just so I can give the normies out there a perspective of what you're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did that just give us vanity prior to the launch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yep.
Okay, so beautiful. So we have vanity, we have the ability to essentially pre-market, and to feel well comfortable within the position us grabbing what we need even after pre-market. Like literally I could go on YouTube, throw the CA address up there, and then literally still not get sandwiched.
Actually, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so what I was referring though to was I like this, so I could essentially see vanity, but I was referring to this. Let's say if I'm on like exitliquidity.com, I'm seeing a contract that literally is Dex paid, but they just decided to dump like on everybody, and I want to make it seem like there's a CTO forming. Am I able to do that and batch in through a GDO still? Some on another
I'm sorry.
person's. What's that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said, am I able to essentially like, let's say if I go into like a random contract, like right now I'm in this one coin called Barbie, which is fucking LeBron's fucking Barbie doll that just
Yes.
dropped today. Fucking dropped that as my alpha group. Fucking we're up.
Yes.
But yeah,
Thanks so
so
much.
if that shit like all of a sudden is fucking crash like crazy right now, right? Then the thing about it is if you had the liquidity on standby and you had a lot of people already in the contract, you might want to reverse that shit on some bundle in on someone else's shit rather than printing your own. So I was just wondering if it allows you to do
Yes.
that.
Yes, we have microbuy. Wait, like 105. We might rework this system.
Yeah, it's like so
Outdating
many
the
ways to cut
current
a cake. I
technology.
already know you probably got something already in your stash for that.
Yes. First token, all the update. There it is. And obviously you have the option to use Jito or not use Jito.
And so in this case, what you're essentially doing is you're able to quote unquote micro buy, but you can bring as many up to 120 wallets, I assume, in there, and you could basically on the same block hit a specific other contract.
So this won't be in the same block. This is an individual Jito. It sends to Jito. Well, actually, you have the option to use RPC or use Jito.
Uh-huh.
So you can check that if you want.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, I usually don't include it because it's not needed. But if I did like 0.01, like 4 wallets, have that much.
And you said if you use Jito, it won't be on the same block. You said.
Yes.
And why would it?
It usually won't be on.
Is that because it's not your contract, or just curiosity? Like, what would make that different between jumping in someone else's CA compared to your own?
In the context of like you're bundling and you're gonna release it, we preload all the instructions, get it ready, and then once the token is released and we get the update on the WebSocket, we send that off to Jito in a bundle. So it's, yes, technically it is possible to have it all land in the same block, but right now we don't have that implemented in microbuy.
Gotcha. It's just another protocol functionality that would need to be done to bring that into an instance. I was just saying that, and of course, that's just a special case of certain people that. And the only reason why I honestly bring that up, to be completely frank with you, is a couple things. One, there's not to say their name, but there's bundlers out there, the TG world, that have CTO situations where they can literally go into other contracts, whether it be on Pump Fund or on Radium, or sorry, on Pump Swap, and they're able to bundle in with 25 wallets and basically do their thing with other CAs, or the whole case study as far as just using exit liquidity CTO rooms in general, by being like, oh yeah, this is a good CTA room, let's look at the charts, oh cool, it's dumping right now, all right, let's just go ahead and reverse this shit, all right, cool, I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going out. All right, I'm coming in again. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally are like on this
Yeah,
tag team, and that would be another case study, I guess, in that regard.
yeah. So if you had like 8 wallets, you put. I hope this doesn't crash after I do this. That would not be good. But if I went here, put in like 0.5, distribute, beautiful, and then I go to token. This is with 8 wallets, I believe. And I can come here, existing, download, preloads the balances and everything. You can sell a delay. Don't use Cheeto, please. And then microbuy starts instant.
You added the delay, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
added a delay. Because some people like the delay. I mean, I like it, so
Mhm.
if
So,
you like
and by the
here,
chance, did you ever, and you probably have, but like when you start doing some like streamlined testing with this, for example, right? And drop in a bundle, drop a dev, for example, you see the bonding curve go up to like a particular number that you're used to because you're like, all right, my Solana compared to what the market cap should be coming at, always will hit like, for example, I don't know, like 25 or 35 bonding curve, whatever, maybe, right? So,
yeah.
have you gotten to the point in the background things where you're like, all right, I'm gonna start doing tests, and if it ever hits 40, I'm just gonna auto sell on these things because that's all the profit. Like, have you gotten to that point as a tester of your own product where you're like, oh shit, it's kind of printing?
Okay. It's sort of like an inside joke with the team because we've spent so much money testing this thing.
Yeah,
Because I know you can do DevNet, but a lot of the stuff on releasing the coin and like Cheeto, our RPC provider only provides DevNet, so we have to use the mainnet, which is already annoying. So not the mainnet, but the test DevNet. Actually, no, testnet. So if you go to Cheeto, now
okay,
what the fuck? It only has the testnet URL.
for
Sucker.
sure.
Um, we create the token on the mainnet with real money, which costs like $2 to $3, and
Uh,
in the span of like a few months, it compounded to a lot of money.
damn,
Yeah,
damn.
nah.
Yeah,
No, but it's
it'll
like
be
it's
worth
okay
it
because it's
though.
an investment, man.
Right.
Like
No, I
you
totally
put,
get it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
by the way, I see there's wallet groups here. I mean,
yeah.
technically speaking, whoa, is that specific wallet group for what purpose? What's the purpose of that specifically? Like, is it like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and come in with 120, but these are four segregated groups, so that way I know these 20 are always gonna come out first, and I can have control of that. Like, what would be your functionality task that's for groups specifically?
So for groups optimally, so you're gonna create your group. Um, you can even import from public key, private key format, and then set your name. And then you can even import even more private keys if you wanted. But
Yeah,
you have this dev, you can fund it from a QR code. You can copy the public address. You can do a lot of things from this group. They're powerful. If you were to set a sniper, and then let me just for testing distribute 0.4, and then you were to come over here.
I'm still like honestly blown away that like technically single handedly, if you think about it, like the only reason why these Discord companies, sorry, Discord, like, servers that are basically selling these nodes to the normies or just other people in trading in general is because for now, until you're basically like this, you're like Tesla. Like you're the only fucking person right now on the street that's auto driving, motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the
Yeah,
way I look at it, bro. Because the thing about it, once this, like, somebody is gonna figure out what you figured out, oh, somehow, some way during time,
yeah,
and
definitely.
when that happens, that motherfucking market cap of those fucking nodes are gonna go a little bit down because the fact of the matter is they're not. I don't know, until they figure out how you do what you do off of just a single Gito win like a sniper. But at that point, it doesn't make sense. You gotta use RPC, and so
Um, so RPC does matter. I don't want to put that down 100% because
right,
the specifications into making an RPC is a lot. So
yeah.
they're only the trade few that can afford that and provide it to others. Um,
I mean, it just seems
so
like
it's
to
just
me though,
not.
like beyond the consistency data of the API from a bundler perspective, yeah. But like when it comes to specifically like traders slash snipers and also guys that are just basically just straight up just like doing shortening and shit like that. honestly, it just
Yeah.
seems like to me like that's the only real reason why to use them for.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, actually, yeah. gRPC plus a good node. It's a good MEV solution,
Yeah.
and that is 100% why you would need a good node, because not all nodes are made equal.
Man, I wish we could
Some are made
pattern in
for
D5.
scaling.
You know how much richer you would be if you fucking pattern.
Yeah,
Like if there was a way to
damn.
pattern this shit.
Patent it.
Yeah. You'd be like, I'll be
Blockchain
good
is
for
so weird.
life,
It's
life,
like
life.
it's
Yeah.
supposed to be decentralized, but you have people like Jito who run like 60% of validators. Well, they don't run it, but they provide the technology that is run by
Right.
60% of validators. It's just a weird weird
Wow.
paradigm.
Wow. So I really appreciate this meeting, guys. 'Cause you fucking blew my fucking top, like no homo.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
For real.
Yep.
Because like I had no idea. I had no idea that this shit was powerful. Y'all about to bring an army to this situation that are coming out with Jito guns and nobody can the nodes ain't gonna like even if you were a sniper, you can't beat that. You can't beat a block, you know?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can. They can.
You could try to front
unfortunately.
run one of the wallets as fast
Yeah,
as
you
They
can try to
can
possible,
front run.
run it.
but you can't
They
sandwich
can
that shit.
run it.
Yeah.
And the only way to front run
possible.
it is paying for those like fucking 70 to 100 soul.
Yeah, you have to pay
fucking.
700 exactly. But like,
Yes, that is
Yeah.
correct.
I've been in D5 for 3 years. You know how long it took me to buy one of those things?
yeah, bro.
And I gotta wait till soul went down to $99 and shit.
Like, dude, they're so expensive. That it's
Hell
like,
yeah, and I haven't even tested
it's
it. I'm kind of
completely
scared. I had to,
understandable.
as soon as I bought one, he said I had to do a renewal fee. I said, what? I said, I just bought the
The fuck?
motherfucker. I gotta do a renewal fee off the gate? I'm like, damn.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wait, did
What
you
the
like?
fuck?
Is it one of those things that are like start of the month to end of the month? So if you
Yeah.
buy on like the 15th, you have to do another 15
Oh,
days and then
yeah.
pay
Shit,
for it
whatever
again.
I got,
Ours is
the one
like
I
that.
got, the dude sold it, basically expired. And so as soon as I bought it,
Oh,
I had to
God.
fucking, pay the 8 soul that they ain't gonna,
That's-
Live and learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did my
Yeah,
research though. I
100
knew that I had to
soul,
pay 8, so I had 8 in the chamber. But like shit, I was like, damn, man, they trying to
Yeah.
rate me out. But like if there must be a reason why everybody, all 90 people are still paying 8, and the floor is still at fucking 80, 90, 100 soul. So there's got to be a reason because
Yeah.
they're fucking fronting the fuck out of the.
Yeah. Well, anyway, man,
I love it.
It was nice.
I love it. Thank
talking
you
with
guys.
you.
This is
Yeah.
great. So
I love-
the thing
Yeah.
about this, I want to continue doing more further. If you guys ever want to do some more AMA stuff, I want to continue having this. I'm completely fucking locked in. The only person the only group or bundler I'm locked in, and it starts with a P. And I know you don't know what it. I know you know what it is. So
Yeah.
I don't even F with the V's so much more because I know at the end of the day it's a ticking time bomb because the TG bot's a ticking time bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
this right here, oh my gosh, this is gonna be oh my god, I cannot wait to drop this shit. So can I drop it tomorrow? What are y'all thinking? What's up?
Hey man,
I mean-
whenever you want to drop this video, you can drop this video, bro.
I'm gonna
That's
drop
fine
it
with
tomorrow,
us.
guys. First thing in the
Drop it
morning. This
tomorrow.
shit's going on with captions and all that with a beautiful screenshot. And
Sounds
anything you
good,
need, let
bro.
me know. I'm ready.
Thank you.
I know I'm gonna have to honestly, like, there's a lot of shit going on here, like, not in a good way. This is exactly what a bundler needs. Like, literally everything you have, it just has to be done in a way where I just break it down, because some of the bundlers are created in a way where people are like, oh, they're thinking this way, but I like how he was said. I said a question to him, and he's like, "Well, we could theoretically blah 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 blah." And so I need to essentially jump in and basically get my hands dirty and figure out how these questions, so that way I'm their liaison to essentially onboarding to the software. So, bada bing, bada
Yeah,
boom.
man. All right. Well, that sounds good, bro.
Thank you guys so much for your conversation. I know I'm taking a long time,
Yeah,
but
of course.
y'all have a
No, that's
wonderful
fine,
day,
man.
You're good.
and
Yeah.
I will upload this tomorrow. And bam.